As we get everybody seated. So we need a motion to go back into our special meeting.
Motion to go back into the special meeting?
Motion by Councilman Lamore, supported by Councilwoman Germaine to go back into our city council special meeting. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilperson Whitman? Yes. Stilgrave?
Yes.
Vining?
Yes.
Germaine?
Yes.
Lamore?
Yes.
Felder?
Yes.
Mayor Clark?
And need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Lamore, supported by Councilman Felder to adjourn. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilperson Whitman? Yes. Stilgrave?
Yes.
Vining? Yes. Germaine?
Yes.
Lamore?
Yes.
Felder?
Yes.
Mayor Clark?
Yes. I'm just going to give everybody a second here to make sure we're set to go because we are just a few minutes over the start of our 7:30 time. I appreciate the indulgence of those present here this evening. We had a session that took a little longer than anticipated. Once we all are, so good nod is there. Appears everybody is prepared. Okay, at this time, I'll call the city council meeting to order. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilperson Whitman?
Here.
Here. Vining? Here. Germaine? Here. Lamore? Felder? Here. Mayor Clark?
Present. I'd ask we all please stand for the invocation. Remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Guide us in our deliberations and discussions this evening. May our efforts promote the good of the residents of this city and all who visit.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, next item, please.
The next item on the agenda would be the approval of the regular agenda.
So I'll see if there's any comments on the regular agenda from the council members. I see none. Motion to be in order.
Your Honor, I make a motion. We approve the regular agenda.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Felder, supported by Councilman Lamore to approve the regular agenda. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilperson Whitman? Yes. Stilgrave?
Yes.
Vining? Yes. Germaine?
Yes.
Lamore?
Yes.
Felder?
Yes.
Mayor Clark?
Yes.
The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda, and for approval of payments to vendors, the amount should read $926,608.17, 926,608.17.
Thank you. Are there any items on the consent agenda that council wishes to have pulled for further discussion?
Your Honor,
Councilman Lamore?
yes, I'd like to have item number 3411 pulled.
Okay. Other items on the consent agenda from council? Seeing none. Are any items on the consent agenda, those present here this evening, wish to have pulled for further discussion? I see none. Clerk, please call the roll.
We have a motion, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Are we
We have a
there?
motion to
Oh,
pull, we need a motion to,
to-
there was a motion to pull the appointments. The second was
I'll make a second.
the Councilman Felder. So the first thing, we need to have an action on that to put it to the council action.
Councilperson,
No, I take it back. I'm going to start over.
I don't know that that requires a second.
We need a motion.
so Councilperson Lamore, this is what I heard, I'm sorry, and I was writing, but Councilperson Lamore pulled the item, and then you asked for others, and now we needed to just make sure we had a motion and a second to approve the consent
Right.
agenda with the exception of the item that was pulled.
We discussed this, and I still got it backwards, but Councilman Felder has a motion to make regarding the consent agenda.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd make a motion that we accept all items not pulled from the consent agenda, that they be accepted, placed on file, recommendations carried out, and resolutions adopted.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Felder, supported by Councilman Lamore, that all items on the consent agenda, absent 3411, be accepted, placed on file, recommendations carried out, and resolutions adopted. Clerk, please call the roll. Thank you.
Councilperson Whitman? Yes. Stilgrave? Yes. Vining? Yes. Germaine?
Yes.
Lamore?
Yes.
Felder?
Yes.
Mayor Clark?
Yes.
We don't do that as often anymore. We don't
No,
pull things.
it's-
We've got other mechanisms now, so. The
right.
next item on the agenda is item 3-4, well, I'm sorry. The next item is presentations, communications, public hearings. And then we'll get to the
Okay, so regarding presentation, communications, public hearings, I understand there was a citizens correspondence as part of the record for those that wish to see that item, correct?
So that's available online, and all of the members of council received that in their packet.
Thank you. Now, next item.
Now the next item.
Yes.
The next item will be under council action, and that will be 3411, appointments to boards and commissions.
Well, Councilman Moore pulled that, and I appreciate that, because on the appointments, we had numerous appointments that were up for council's consideration, and there was, in the Board of Review, is a three-person board. We had two that confirmed, and through communications with another person, we weren't able to finish that conversation until after the agenda was published. So, but I did get a call yesterday to be able to finalize, and so I do have a recommendation to add to the Board of Review as a third person. The person, you don't have an application because they've served on the Board of Review several times previously. The person's name is Lee Garland. He is out of the 6th Precinct, and why I bring that up is because our other members that are on the recommendation for the Board of Review are out of Precinct 2 and 4. And as you know, as the precincts need to change, each time there's a change in the Board of Review. And there's 3 precincts this time, and we try to get the 3 precincts the next time. So 2, 4, and 6 are the precincts that are representing this time. So I'm asking that we, on the appointments that the list that I provided, that it includes Lee Garland for the Board of Review. Councilman Felder.
Your Honor, I believe it's Lee Garling.
Pardon me?
I think it's Garling.
Yeah, Garling. I said Garland? Garling. With a G.
Yes.
Garling, and as I said, he has served in years past in the rotation, so.
I would make a motion that with the addition of Lee Garling on the Board of Review, to approve all additional candidates proposed in the resolution making appointments to city boards and commissions.
Second.
By Councilman Feller, supported by Councilman Moore on item 3411, appointments to the boards and commissions. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilperson Whitman?
Yes.
Stalegrave? Yes. Vining?
Yes.
Jermaine?
Yes.
Lamore?
Yes.
Felder?
Yes.
Yes. Next item.
I have no further items, Your Honor.
So it's council comments. It's January, so Councilwoman Whitman, first comments tonight.
I have, I'm glad to be here tonight, but I have no comments.
Councilwoman Stillgrave.
Well, I'm glad to be here too, and I really don't have anything to say at this moment.
Thank you. Councilwoman Whitman, I'm sorry, Whitman. Councilwoman Vining. I apologize, no comments. Councilwoman Germaine.
Thank you. I wasn't at the last meeting, so I want to welcome Deb. I didn't get a chance to do that before. I'm glad she is here. I also want to say in honor of Martin Luther King, the community college is having every day a different program. Go on their website. They're at all different times and in different areas of the college, but they have some very good programs. Also, the Monroe County Museum is having, on the 20th, I do believe, a speaker. You can go to the museum's website and you can listen to that speaker Thursday at 7 p.m. about the War of 1812. That's all, Your Honor.
Councilman Lamore.
Thank you, Your Honor. One thing I wanted to bring up tonight that we haven't had in the last 2 years is a Christmas parade. And I'd like to see that come back to Monroe. Downtown area was invigorated with tons of people, thousands of people during the last 2 parades that we had. And obviously COVID put a snarl in that. But I think it's something that's necessary to involve our community in, get the people in the city of Monroe back together and get this thing started up. And this is the time we need to do it, is right now, is to start considering this. And I'd really like the staff, administration to start thinking about how we can get this back together, because I think it's a necessity for the city.
Okay.
And that's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
Just a follow-up, just so the last Christmas Magic in Monroe was championed through the Monroe News. And the city was there as a support to provide in-kind services, but all of the activities, the planning, the fundraising was done through an independent entity. And while others have asked me similarly about activities, our doors are open, and we're willing to partner with those that may want to champion such an event if they wish to do so. But that's part of kind of where we're going with, I think, in some of our conversation, it's going to come up in our goals and objectives. And I know that Communications Director Egan and some things we have planned that's around the tree lighting regarding some partnerships of those that will coordinate and manage the activities and will provide the services. But I'm always open and welcoming to those that may want to put forward something like that. Thank you, Bill.
And I agree. I think it's something that we have to, I don't want to say initiate, but we have to kind of put it out there for people to grasp at. And it's up to us to do that. And if we have to be the leaders, then so be it. But I think it's just going to put our city back on the map, so to speak, and get our residents feeling a little stronger towards our town. And it's just a start. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Felder.
Thank you, Your Honor. Two things briefly. Just excited for the additional committee appointments and to as we all begin to sort of sink our teeth into our new assignments. I'm very much looking forward to that, and I am very thankful for the community for stepping up to be appointed to these committees and dedicating their time and efforts to them. I would, second of all, like to voice my frustration with the state legislature. The State House this week took off for high COVID rates. As we all know, rates are getting high, and I urge all committee members or community members to take appropriate precautionary actions upon themselves, and with whatever they feel is appropriate. It is frustrating to see the State House themselves canceling because of COVID, but not allowing the municipalities the flexibility to decide for themselves whether or not remote meetings would be more appropriate. So I would urge them to reallow. Is that a state? I don't know if I think that might be a state of emergency, might be required on their part to allow municipalities to make a decision to go to remotely or not, and then they can do what they will. But at this point, the option is not available to us. So that's a bit frustrating. So just wanted to share that. But that's all the comments I have this evening, Your Honor.
Thank you, Councilor Felder. Just a couple of comments. First, boards and commissions, I want to thank the council for supporting the recommendations. I look in those that are here, and I see one of our board commissioners is here that serves on the Local Officers Compensation Commission, and all are important. All of our boards and commissions brings the community together, and I think that having residents and citizens participate on the boards and commissions gets us better input and thoughts as we go. And if we didn't have that, then we'd be relying just on governmental decisions. Sometimes that just doesn't work out because you don't really have the information that we need. So all these, we have some new, I know that you received their information as well regarding that. I just want to bring one item up that we talked about as a council, and I know there's been a lot of discussion over the weekend regarding this, and being that with our holiday yesterday with Martin Luther King, and it's been a conversation within the community, it's been a conversation with the council. The Martin Luther King bridge that is here in our city, which is the walk bridge from one side of our city, the north and south across the river, and what that all means. I know Councilwoman Vine and I had the opportunity to chat about that over the weekend as well, because there was a lot of social media discussion, and while that's generate some conversation, but I think it's important for accuracy to understanding that this council, back when we we're talking about our trails and funding that may come from the streets, sidewalks, and trails, does that fit within what might be? And I know that we've had the conversation with administration, so maybe some of a funding source to assist with that. But we also had a work session on a Monday evening. It was November 22nd, if I recall correctly. It was a Monday, not of our regular meeting. And we reviewed all of our capital improvements projects. So it's not something that is not being discussed and not thought of about the city, and what we need to do and make necessary repairs and what that might be. And it's not just the painting of the bridge, because there's also the concerns if you start scraping, blasting, and painting, what falls in the river is not acceptable. So it has to be there's a lot to think about that. And then there's the safety side of each end. We know that the cement work and the steps need repairs. And there's today's environment, I think we can mitigate that and make it much better than what it is today. So those are all the conversations that are coming up. But the Council, in the review of the capital improvements project, included the Martin Luther King Memorial Footbridge rehabilitation within there, and they're part of our general fund of $100,000. And I can tell you, that's just the start, because I know the administration is already looking into what that takes to get it done correctly, to make sure it is a marquee location in our downtown. And so one of the items that we passed on our agenda tonight was setting the public hearing for our capital improvements, which will come up at our February 20, I gotta look faster, 22nd, I believe it is. Yes, Tuesday, because it's not a Monday meeting, because Monday's the holiday again. But Tuesday, February 22nd, will be the public hearing and the proposed date for adoption of the fiscal year 22 to 28 capital improvement program budget. So I think it's important to review. I appreciate the conversation that Councilwoman Vining and I had over the weekend to let me know some of what is being discussed in the public. And I also received it from a communications director and also things that I've seen. So I think it's important that we bring this up to know that we're not just waiting for things to be a conversation. We are planning for things, and it's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to take probably more than we've already set aside in our capital improvements as a placeholder. But we'll have that conversation on the 22nd of February of how we make sure we get that. And I look forward to how the administration moves forward some options of how we go about doing that, and not only in what it looks like, but also in the design of it, because I think it is, we're going to get it done. So I think that's my comments for this evening. I just see that Lucy Fortin's here as well, and that was also one of our items on the agenda. I just thought about that, is moving forward to develop a non-motorized plan. Again, talking about our trails, talking about the quality of life items that people want to get out and have mobility, and update the 5-year Parks and Recreation. So with Lucy, of course, with the Mannequin Smith and our support there, where we're going to go. So I'll stop now.
I have
Treasurer
no
Boyd.
comments. I have no comments this evening, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Pastu.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just one item. I'm going to be reaching out to individual council members, or maybe do it two at a time, but probably back in October, we had a discussion regarding the DTE fly ash project, and we left that unresolved, and I need to get that back on the agenda for discussion. So there's a little more background information that I can provide for you and bring it back sometime in February. So just to let you know.
Thank you. Next is citizens' comments. Any comments from those present here this evening? Any comments from those present? Thank you for being here, though, and maybe we'll chat afterwards. If there's no citizens' comments,
Motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn. Councilman Lamore? And as supported by Councilwoman Germaine. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilperson Whitman? Steelgray?
Yes.
Bondy? Yes. Germaine?
Yes.
Lamore?
Yes.
Felder? Yes. Mayor Clark?
Yes.